Call of Duty Black Ops 2, releasing all the way back in 2012, had a lot to offer us. I mean, a great sequel to the Black Ops 1 campaign, as well as a multiplayer which was one of the best of all time. But I want to focus your attention today on something different. The final and third mode, Zombies. Zombies is a mode made as a side passion project all the way back in World at War as a game mode to play once you finish the campaign and maybe if you're bored of the multiplayer. World at War showed us a taste of what Zombies was, and it sparked interest in many players. So much interest, in fact, that we were given Zombies in the next Treyarch installment, Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 introduced a lot of new features and staples to the franchise, like unique wonder weapons, new boss zombies, expanding on the 4 OG perks, and maybe most importantly, the main Easter eggs. All of these things were very crucial elements to add to the game, and made Zombies what it is today. Black Ops 1 was when we were really introduced into the story between our beloved characters, Dempsey, Nikolai, Takio, and Richtofen. We start in an abandoned movie theater to show us the basics of the mode, and throughout the game's life cycle, the maps become more interesting and offer a bigger experience, with DLC 4 bringing us to the literal moon, in which Richtofen swaps bodies with Samantha, a little girl. Yeah, it sounds weird, but just go with it. And the Easter egg ends with us using the rockets on the moon to blow up the Earth, making everyone unsure of where we go from here. We had just blown up the Earth, right? Everyone is dead, right? But on September 26th of 2012, we got the reveal of... We were shown a map covered in lava due to our events on Moon, showing us a supposedly open world zombies mode, making everybody watching excited. A lot of people thought it would be kind of like a Left 4 Dead kind of game where you'd have missions to do and stuff like that. Sadly, they were mistaken. And people would stay excited to play and ready to play this game for the first time until happy with BO2. Even with DLC 1 Die Rise probably being one of the worst first DLCs of all time. But we were blessed with DLC 2 Mob of the Dead. This map was led by the one and only Jason Blundell, starting a new era of zombies, with amazing guest characters and a sneak peek on what we would receive from him in the future. Jason doubled down, creating another fan favorite map and possibly one of the most well-known, Origins, introducing even more ideas like a more Easter egg focused map, as well as 4 elemental wonder weapons and the start of a new storyline, with familiar characters and possibly the best Call of Duty Zombies intro we've ever gotten. After Black Ops 2 though, the game had very mixed opinions, but in my opinion was overall saved in the end, and it was time for something different. Something new.
Your sins serve only as
Hey guys, what's up? And I'm sorry for the long intro, but today I wanted to talk to you all about Black Ops 3. With the 8-year anniversary of the game's launch just passing, I thought it would be a great time to talk about the success of Black Ops 3 and how no game before or after it could recreate its sense of community. One last thing before we go ahead and get into this, I spend a lot of time on the YouTube platform and I enjoy these video essay type of videos, especially on Call of Duty Zombies. One of these channels that I enjoy watching is the one and only Zesty Moon. I'm not being held at gunpoint here to say this, but I really think he's doing great, and my favorite video was his video on Black Ops 2, going over every map in detail and explaining why Black Ops 2 was so great. He's doing great things and recently just passed me in subs, so congrats on that one. He makes good quality videos, and I think more people need to go check him out. His link will be in the description, and anyways, let's get into the video. Wait, what is this? Origins fans aren't gonna like this? Are you serious? He posted the orange juice. No, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. You know, I let it slide once with the poll. I'm not letting it slide this time. You know what? You know what? You want to put orange juice in front of... Just wait. You think you're... Alright, just give me a second.
No, I'm tired of this shit, okay? I'm fucking tired of it, alright? You know what I think about your fucking orange juice? Alright? This is what I think about it, alright? Fuck your orange juice. Fuck orange juice, alright? Origin's better. Fuck the... There's no fucking way I just fell. You know what? Fuck orange juice.
November 5th, 2015. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 launched, giving us the launch map Shadows of Evil, as well as the Giant if you paid for the Season Pass or an extra $5. The Giant being a remake of 3's, staying very similar to the original with small changes, like playing as our premise characters, the Monkey Easter egg, and the Annihilator, unfortunately. This map was a great side map and was really there for anyone who wanted to play that classic survival zombies, and it didn't have to do anything extra like buildables or Easter eggs. Instead, it was a very nice side map to play and grind on to level up guns and get to high rounds. Shadows of Evil, known as one of the greatest maps of all time, was another map led by Jason Blundell, and you could really see his formula in this one. The map really felt like Mob of the Dead, but enhanced in all its features, such as instead of Afterlife we got Beast Mode, which in my opinion is much better and doesn't allow you to have infinite revives on solo. But while it is known as one of the best maps now, it definitely was not at the time. On launch, people hated this map because the space squids and how you had to learn a lot about the map instead of just playing strictly for high rounds. And what I say to that is, yes, it's not as easy to get straight into a game. There is so much content added to the game, which really started the era at which people would look up tutorials on how to do things on maps consistently. Sure, it was done before, but Black Ops 3 really was the start, where if you want to do anything on a map, including the Easter egg, you had to look it up. Now, some people didn't like this because they wanted to just be able to play the map themselves, and to that I say, well, clearly you've never watched a Mr. Raffle Waffles video. I swear I have his voice ingrained in my head from the amount of tutorials I've watched from him. And because of most people having to look up tutorials on zombies maps, it made zombies YouTubers more important into the community and brought more attention to the mode online, and helping Call of Duty Zombies really grow as a community with everyone online sharing their findings from how to do the main Easter egg to small ciphers in Apothecon underwater saying how the horse on transit is real. Zombies really is the only community that has a fanbase that isn't very toxic and work together to solve things. I mean, there are exceptions, don't get me wrong, but I think the overwhelming majority of players in the community are pretty nice to each other, and it's not as toxic as a lot of other games out there. Treyarch played along with this, adding even more Easter eggs and things to solve, like Jason Blundell himself going to do an interview with Mr. Raffle Waffles and blinking in Morse code. Now, I have no idea what he said in Morse code, but tell me another community like this, because I don't know any other game studio that goes on interviews and blinks in Morse code to tell us more things about the game. I'm just saying. We move on to DLC 1 for Black Ops 3 with the best DLC 1 map we've ever gotten, Derision-Rack. Derision-Rack was a basically perfected version of Origins, appealing more to the casual player while also keeping that same sense of challenge from Origins, turning with the 4 elemental upgradable weapons that are pretty easy to get. The Lightning, Wolf, and Void are all very easy to get. The 4th bow unfortunately will never be obtained because my favorite YouTuber, NoahJ456, never uploaded the tutorial. They are all very easy to get and are very fun to use, making this map even more appealing to players. This map also introduced the real first boss fight in Zombies, and a great Easter egg which mimics Moon's ending by blowing up the moon, and it just looks amazing. This map really changed people's opinion on Zombies, with casual and hardcore players loving the game because the map is just so great, and with DLC 1 being a success, it set high standards for the game's future. Which brings me to DLC 2, Zesty no Shima. Zesty no Shima was another Shadows of Evil in the way that it was considered to be too complex and required too much knowledge in order to play the map. People also didn't like that the Wonder Weapon wasn't very flashy. It was basically a Sliquifier 2.0, and the Skull of Nansapui most casual players don't even know exists. And to top it all off, the Easter egg requires a lot of RNG and the use of Gobblegum. Now, this scared people because Gobblegum was supposed to be this optional thing to use, but now that you're required to use a certain gum, even if it's a classic, a lot of people did not like this. Thankfully, Treyarch saw this and didn't include something like this in any future maps. However, at the time, people really didn't like this. Some people marked it as the downfall of Zombies and continued playing DE. Now, me personally, as well as many others in the community, I love Zesty no Shima, being a top 10 map for me, and I think it just needed some time for people to really understand how great the map is. And a lot of maps were like this. For example, Shadows of Evil and Origins, both are fan favorite maps now, but back then were hated on because of how different they were from classic Zombies. I think people who still don't like this map need to give it another chance and just look at some of the great features it has. For example, the Skull of Nansapui is probably the coolest specialist we've seen in any Zombies game, and it's the most unique. Really no other weapon in general that's like the Skull of Nansapui. A fighter boss fight that gives you widows for free, the imprint plants that are basically time bombs but better, and an Easter egg that can be very fun to do once you get used to it. I think this map, in ways, is very similar to Origins, and is one of the most underrated zombies maps of all time that suffered due to coming out right after one of the most flashy and overpowered weapons in an already great map. Zesty Moon isn't trying to be flashy, it's trying to be humble to fit the theme of Tokyo, with powerful weapons, but not too OP that you can't die with them if you're not careful. I think Black Ops 3 needed Zesty to be different from all the loud and chaotic maps, and have a more somber map that can really be enjoyed when you sit back and really appreciate this map for what it is. Now with DLC 3, Zombies tried something it had never done before. You all know what I'm talking about, it's the dragons. The trailer for this map launched June 28th of 2016 and was a very controversial trailer because while a lot of people, myself included, thought the trailer looked great and thought the dragons and the return of the PPSH, which everyone in the community was so hyped for, some people didn't like dragons because it didn't feel like zombies and the game was going in a direction that didn't feel like back in the day. And to those people, I say, go play Vanguard Zombies and see if dragons is something you want to complain about. I think Gorod is one of the greatest maps of all time, and really gave zombies that final push to show us that anything was possible to add to zombies. And I question sometimes how we go from fighting dragons and an angry, drunk Russian and a mech, to defending this hazmat zombie for the end of an Easter egg. But when the map launched, I think a lot of people actually changed their minds on the map, because even with the dragons flying around, Gorod probably felt like the most classic zombies map out of all of Black Ops 3, not including the Giant. Having basically the same pack-a-punch system as Derice and getting the wonder weapon from the box. Oh yeah, did I mention the ray gun Mark 3's on this map? And it makes black holes. Gorod also had one of the greatest Easter eggs of all time, and while some steps can be very tedious without gobblegums, with a good team to work with, it can be a fun, challenging Easter egg that is still possible to do. Easter egg ends off with us killing a literal dragon, and then fighting Nikolai in his mech to take his soul. Gave us the cutscene that reveals all Nikolai's wives were not real. There was only ever really one who died, and he never recovered after turning to drinking. This was a big shock to the community, as one of Nikolai's biggest character traits at the time was him talking about his many wives and sometimes how he would kill them. I also can't forget the Dragon Shield, which is the best shield in zombies, giving the player the ability to blast a horde of zombies with a green fire or red when upgraded. And one of my favorite weapons of Gorod is having a baby dragon on your arm that you can use as a flamethrower or have him kill enemies for you while you punch through them, as well as retrieving things for you if you're doing the Easter egg. This map did so much for the community, and without it, Black Ops 3 would not have been the same game. It worked as a casual map, but also as a way to get into that more advanced gameplay to new players, not forcing players to learn too much information like on most maps in Black Ops 3 and 4, but Gorod really is such a great map, and we can't forget that we love the PPSH. DLC 4, the last supposed DLC that was going to end Black Ops 3 and possibly the entirety of Ether as we know it. Now clearly we know that did not happen, but Revelations was another controversial map, other than the fact that we're on floating islands in space with a very big blue moon and flying gummy worms everywhere. There's also a lot of reused assets which people did not like because it's supposed to be the last map in Zombies, but only has a few new areas that are playable. I personally think Revelations was going to be the Great War map that was talked about for so long, but unfortunately did not happen, and I believe it's because, one, they had limited time for this DLC because they had to work on Black Ops 4 and other projects that were considered more important at the time, and for two, with the fact that there was going to be a Black Ops 4, it seemed like they were just going to finish off this story in BO4, as they might as well take advantage of how successful Black Ops 3 was to promote their next game. Some other issues with Revelations is the Easter egg. It's a lot of random steps that don't make a whole lot of sense, sometimes like shooting random rocks and collecting reels. Don't get me wrong, the map did a lot of cool things. We got the return of the Thunder Gun. The map is also a great survival map because there are so much stuff in the map that just make you feel OP. It feels like buried in the sense that you can use so many different weapons and just go for high rounds. Probably has one of the coolest pack-a-punch camos of all time, as well as Tokyo's Katana, which is something the community wanted for years, and we finally got an upgrade to the Apothicon Servant. Shout out Noah J. But even with all those great additions, the boss fight to end all of Black Ops 3 is literally just Shadows of Evil's boss fight, which wasn't even a real boss fight in the first place. And when you compare this ending to Black Ops 1 blowing up the Earth, or Black Ops 2 starting a new story with our characters and seeing Samantha again, it really doesn't compare to Shadow Man boss fight 2. Revelations of when I believe the true downfall of zombies began. Well, that was until
something.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of talk in the community.
There's been a lot of talk.
A lot of talk in the community. You know, and it's, you know, it's so hard sometimes to really think about, you know, what kind of topics to talk about when you kind of go and visit someone. So I think the most important thing to talk about would be...
I'm a sucker for medieval castles.
Now, there's a lot I can say about Zombie Chronicles. I think I should start by saying how it was the #1 sold DLC on PS4, which speaks volumes for how powerful the Zombies fan base really is. Zombies Chronicles was a 5th DLC for Black Ops 3, a meme at the time that no one believed would ever happen, and it returned some of the most fan-favorite maps of all time: Nocturne, Toten, Verrucht, Shinonuma, Kino, Ascension, Shangri-La, Moon, and Origins. The point of this DLC, coming from Jason Blundell himself, was for players who may have started playing in Black Ops 3 to experience the old maps and story that they may not have been able to experience back in the day. This DLC has to be one of the best decisions ever made by a development team ever, and thankfully, Activision's greedy hands allowed it to be made. Chronicles also marks the peak of zombies as a community. I truly don't know another time in the entire history of zombies where the whole community was this much together. Leading up to the launch of the DLC, YouTubers in the Zombies community were able to play Chronicles early at Treyarch and would reveal gameplay of a new map every day leading up until the launch. And this was great for the community, and I can't stress it enough. I think another reason why this worked so well is, in my opinion, the Zombies community is one of the most involved communities with YouTubers, because so much of Zombies is learning the map, and a lot of time players would just be on YouTube watching people on how to do things in certain maps, or high ground strategies, or even watching world records. I don't even think Treyarch knew how big Chronicles would be. It definitely surprised Activision, and this is where Activision would show more interest in zombies, unfortunately in the wrong way. Because of how well Chronicles did, it really got the game mode into the spotlight even more than ever before. The maps were all amazing, faithful remasters to their original designs, but with an upgraded engine and graphics, as well as small changes like no fucking PhD. However, seeing these maps in a new light in Black Ops 3 were amazing for the maps. For example, Shangri-La and Moon, I think, had the best glow-ups graphically out of all of the others. Moon, for starters, makes the map so much less gray, which I can't even describe how much better it makes this map to look at. Especially the biodome really feeling alive, as well as blowing up the Earth being so much better quality than in Black Ops 1. Black Ops 3 also improved all of these maps because since all of Black Ops 1's maps required so many things from the box, Gobblegum helped a lot with this problem with immolation, really making all of these Easter eggs so much more enjoyable to play, and especially seen in Moon, even if I still have to wait 50 rounds for an excavator to crash into Tunnel 6. Shangri-La has to be one of the best looking maps of Black Ops 3 and possibly all of Zombies. It really is crazy to me that this is a map that came out in 2017. Like, that honestly is so crazy to me because it looks insane for one, the game it was in, and for two, the year that it came out. It really has that jungle feel and just looks beautiful. And no, it's not on fucking Mars for the last time. All the other maps are obviously all enhanced, but I believe Shang and Moon really show how far we came from the 360 PS3 era to PS4 and Xbox One. I am truly grateful for this DLC, and to this day I still remember pre-ordering it and staying up all night to play Origins on Black Ops 3 for the first time and dying on round 8 to the Panzer. Zombie Chronicles was a much needed DLC and helped a lot with the community. The journey of Black Ops 3's lifespan was an amazing one. It has so much other things I didn't mention in this video, like the Z House, Zombie World Championships, or EE4C, one of my favorite events on all of YouTube. It was very fun participating, watching that, seeing a bunch of teams compete, see who could do all the Easter eggs first. It's great. We only had two. I would love to see another one, but I mean, I don't really want to see people doing the Vanguard Easter eggs, so I think I'm okay. Black Ops 3 will always have a special place in my heart, and I will never forget it as it's truly a part of my life that stuck with me even to this day. and what really brought me into the mode. I played Black Ops 1 and 2, but I played it very casually. It wasn't until Black Ops 3 where I really got into zombies and discovered the best community in all of gaming. Well, sometimes. Thank you all for watching this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I did making it. Zombies really mean so much to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to everyone out there as well. But thank you again for all the support I've been getting recently. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Where are we going?